howdy, hey, and welcome to this week's episode of the Halo Hot Take Hoedown. My name is Fernando, the Lone Star Halo, joined here by Vince, the Angels Cowboy. We are here to give our opinions on Reid Detmers. Is it time to put him back in the rotation? Maybe it's not. We're going to debate right after this.
Texas plains, hot takes flying right off the range. Lone Star Halo Cowboy Vince, calling it bold, never on the fence. Hold down time, turn it up loud. Hot takes are ringing, drawing a crowd. No matter how wild, no matter how strange, ain't no limit on the takes we say.
Yes. Welcome to this week's episode of the Halo Hot Take Hoedown. Once again, my name is Fernando, the Lone Star Halo, joined here by Vince, the Angels Cowboy. Mr. Vince, how's it going this week? Say hi to the people.
It's going great. I mean, this interesting series that happened for sure in New York, so I'm a little excited about that. And then a big weekend coming up for me personally. I'll get to that in a bit, probably most likely at the end of the show. But other than that, June's almost over. It's pretty shocking how quick that the month of June has gone. But you know what? People don't realize, baseball's a long season, but you forget it does go by quick. Even though it is 162 games, trust me, it honestly feels like 82 games. Anthony Rendon would be happy about that for sure.
Yeah, he would definitely be happy about a shortened season. This whole year has just really flown by for me personally. I mean, it feels like the year just started, and I mean, we're basically at the halfway point here. So it's crazy to think that we're almost to the halfway point of the baseball season, just a couple short weeks away. The Midsummer Classic, the All-Star Game, is also just around the corner. So we'll have some episodes probably about that. But, today's episode is going to be about Reid Detmers. We'll get to that, of course, in a second. Before we get into any of that, though, give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Tell your friends. Share the podcast. Share the streams whenever we do those. Check out the post-game shows. Follow us on social media at Halos in the Infield on almost every social media platform. While you're at it, give our buddy Vince, the Angels Cowboy, a follow. That is at Angels_Cowboy. We appreciate you guys doing that. We appreciate you guys sharing the show. Also, while we're here, thank you to our sponsors, 714 Tickets. Make sure you use that code HITI at checkout. Thank you to Brewheim. Make sure you mention Halos and Infield for some drink specials. Head on over to the OC Deca for all of your memorabilia needs. And, of course, if you are starting a small business or maybe you have one already and you want to help grow things like your social media, if you want to have them help you with the website, they're capable of all that. Check out Max Market Pro. All right, well, without further ado, let's get into the topic before the topic. We'll talk a little bit about the Yankees series. So, Vince, you said that you were excited about the Angels taking 3 out of 4. Couldn't quite get the sweep, but a good series nonetheless. So, Vince, how are you feeling post-series win?
I will say this. Where was this in Baltimore? That's the first thing that came to my mind after the first 2 wins, not just the 3, but the first 2 wins against the Yankees. The pitching was pretty dominant for sure, at least the starting pitching. And, I mean, Reid Detmers is the topic, and her starting pitching is one of the reasons, is one of the big holes that we've had in the past. And we still kind of have a hole right there that needs to be filled. It's probably, I don't know, maybe even halfway filled or even like 60% filled. Who knows, might be even closer, but that's just me. So I was impressed at how the pitching did the first 2 games. And also, even though the hitting could have been a little bit better, obviously, because we didn't score that many runs. Of course, we had that one game when we won 1-0, and Noah Shonowell came in and won it for us in extra innings. That was pretty huge. But there is one thing. Yeah, we didn't hit, but we hit at a timely manner. And that's the thing that you have to take into consideration with this offense. Yeah, they don't hit, but guess what? If they can hit at the right time, timely hitting is going to help you win ball games. There's guys who go through terrible slumps. They can go 2 hits an entire week, 2 hits in like 2 weeks, whatever. But sometimes those 2 hits that they've had could have been at a clutch situation. It could have been a walk-off home run. It could have been a bases clearing double at the right time. You have to take that into consideration, and that's exactly what the offense did in the game against the Yankees. And one thing that also impressed me too about the Yankee series with the offense is that they weren't, and if you saw my Instagram post, you might have seen a comment I made. I said about Noah Schanuel's hit, don't get too sexy. So what he did was, when he brought that RBI in from second base, he wasn't trying to clobber one and give us a 2-run lead. It would have been nice. However, he made his approach that got him to the major leagues, basically, which was being short to the ball and just getting on base, not trying to tag one into the right center bleachers. And I mean, Yankee Stadium, you want to do that, especially with the upper deck. You want to hit it up there. You just want to hit it out because, well, then again, the fly ball in any park is a home run at Yankee Stadium. But Nolan did not do that. He said, you know what? What's important is getting that run in because, yeah, it'd be nice to hit a 2-run home run at Yankee Stadium in extra innings. However, it'd be much nicer if I can bring in that run, but also keep a rally going and score more runs. We could have scored more, but we didn't. So I was impressed about that. Also, going back to the pitching, now the bullpen I had that same name. I have to bring it up again. Ryan Zefferjon. I'm starting to lose trust on him. And maybe you feel the same way, Fernando, but I know there's a lot of Angel fans out there who are saying, what is he doing at this time? Well, we mentioned it a couple episodes ago. Ben Joyce is out. Our eighth inning guy is out. So we have to depend on Ryan Zefferjon. But it's still, we're biting our nails so many times when he toes the rubber. When is it going to stop? When is he going to figure it out? We may never know. Is somebody else going to have to step up? Probably, unless he decides, well, maybe he does figure it out and then he goes on a tear. Remember, it's a long season. Maybe the All-Star break will probably help him. He probably just needs that little break, which is going to be coming in a few weeks.
Well, I mean, it's bad. We're going to talk about Reid Detmers. Obviously, he is the topic, but he's kind of been a high leverage arm for the Angels. So, I mean, a guy who nobody thought was going to, be an effective bullpen pitcher has kind of turned out to be an effective bullpen pitcher for the Angels just because, the back end of the bullpen has been a bit of an issue. Not Kenley Jansen, but getting, the bridge to Kenley Jansen has been a windy one for the Angels. It hasn't been an A to B situation. It's been very fluid. It's had to change. There's been injuries. There's been changes to the staff. Luckily now they have Hunter Strickland, who has helped a lot since he got signed. Really effective last year. He signed with Texas, got cut, DFA'd, came over here. And, he has certainly helped this. Certainly you can't say struggling bullpen, but on paper, like I said, getting to Kenley Jansen has been the struggle because, man, when Kenley Jansen's up there for the first time in a long time, I'm at ease. This guy hits 3 straight batters with no outs to load the bases loaded for fun. Who cares? That's what Kenley Jansen does. He's going to balk the next 2 people over because he wants to run on second and third for no reason. Who cares? That's what Kenley Jansen does. So, it is fun to watch him close on, watching him up the 5 for the other team in blue, the Smurfs over there. It always got so old because, the guy's such a dominant closer, but, it is nice to have that sense of security. The starting pitching, the first 2 games was nails, absolutely lights out. 1-0 the first game, 4-0 the same game. Kyle Hendricks could do no wrong that outing. Made Aaron Judge look silly. Aaron Judge didn't have an amazing series either, fortunately for us, when you look at the sample size of all 4 games. So, it was nice to see the pitching especially the first two games, just kind of go after them. You know what I mean? They were really not worried about the offense. They were trusting their stuff. Logan O'Hoppe finally got an opportunity to call a game for Kyle Hendricks, which is great. He really needs to be out there. He is your franchise centerpiece catcher. Why are we using Travis d'Arnaud 2 or sometimes even 3 games a week? That's crazy. Now, if Mike Trout was playing the outfield and the DH spot was open, maybe, but at the end of the day, you need to give Logan O'Hoppe, like they say in high school football, first team reps, right? He is your cornerstone catcher. I almost said center. So if you have a franchise altering piece like you do in O'Hoppe, you got to give him the keys to the kingdom. You're going to get him off his feet once, maybe twice a week occasionally. Great. Okay. But too much time off is detrimental to him and his development.
Yeah, totally. And I do see why he's getting a lot of days off because he wants to rest his legs a bit. And catcher is already a stressful position because of everything you have to do. You have to know the hitters that you're facing, and that's why you have the you see in today's generation of baseball. You didn't have it back in the day. They have that it's called the playmaker wrist. I call it quarterback wrist because the quarterbacks use it and when they check the plays and they read it off. You see that a lot, and I've actually talked to a couple college catchers, and I've asked them what do you have on that thing that you guys wear? And they say that it's just combination numbers. So what happens is the manager or the pitching coach gives a number. They look at the numbers, and then that's when they call the pitches, basically. And it's just certain pitchers or certain hitters that come up to the plate. So, but other than that, with Logan O'Hoppe, yeah, he's already stressed enough with running the team. But it also takes a toll on your body. So I get it. I understand that he's getting the rest, but at the same time, it's you do want to win ball games, and it looks like he is the guy that is helping win ball games for us. Because look, Kyle Hendricks went off, whereas whenever he's at Travis d'Arnaud, it's not the case. And there was a prime example of it today with Tyler Anderson on the mound. Tyler Anderson has been effective with Logan O'Hoppe behind the plate, but this is the first time I think all season that Anderson has had d'Arnaud behind the plate. Now, at one point, and I'm going to reference the group chat, Rob mentioned that d'Arnaud was calling the pitches and not Anderson. And Anderson has a tendency to do that. He calls his own pitches, which is probably why he has some effectiveness. But at the same time, when you have the catcher who you're not used to as much calling pitches, it's going to affect you a lot. So that's the only downside. I think that's the reason why today's game wasn't as great. I mean, Anderson did have his moments, but once the bullpen came in, it changed everything, and the Yankees basically woke up, and that came into effect. And yeah, I mean, I am impressed. I mean, I wish the road trip was a lot better. I think this road trip should have been let me do the math correctly. I think we should have taken 2 in Baltimore, in my opinion. We should have taken that Friday game. We definitely should have taken the Saturday game. The Sunday game, whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, because you win the series. Yeah, you want to sweep, but the Sunday game, I think it was one of those games that we were bound to lose. But the first 2, no, we should have taken those games for sure. So we should have, out of the 7 games we played, we should have finished with the 4-2 record on this road trip. Instead, we go 3-4. It doesn't look as good. I mean, you do feel you're on your high horse because you took 3 out of 4 against the Yankees. But at the same time, you got swept by Baltimore, who are probably the second worst team in the American League right now behind the White Sox. And don't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore goes on a tear, and guess what? You know what they're going to say? They're going to look back at that series against us and say, that's the series that turned us around. So I'm hoping that they don't get turned around, because then they're going to be looking at us and saying, thank you guys for changing our season. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, for any of the Angels fans that are getting excited about we won 3 out of 4 against the first place Yankees. Okay, pump the brakes a little bit, because Houston has really started to create some division division in the division. Unfortunately for us, they're 43-31 now. Seattle in second place, 37 and 36. They are 5.5 games back. The Angels are now 7 games back. And keep in mind, this is an Angels team that did just win 3 or 4. They're 6 and 4 in their last 10. They're 36 and 38, 7 games back. Texas 36 and 39, 7.5 games back. And then the Athletics are 30 and 46 and 14 games back. So Houston is way ahead of us right now. I mean, we blinked and all of a sudden we're 7 games out, right? There was a little while there where we're like, 3 games out? I think when all was good going into the Baltimore series. So, yeah, hey, that's the thing with baseball. Blink and the game will pass you by. So, for anyone who is getting overly excited, just keep that in mind. We'll see what happens now that the Angels come back to town to face those very same Astros. So, hey, a good series here. They win 2 out of 3. Next thing you know, you could be within 5 again. Or if you sweep them, we're really right back in the hunt. So see what happens. This series will tell us a lot. Houston is hot. And fortunately for us, I would say the Angels are, I don't want to call them hot because they did get swept by the Orioles, but they played a very good overall series against the Yankees. Obviously, like you said, today's game wasn't great. Who knows how much that had to do with Travis d'Arnaud calling the game. But this next stretch of games here should tell us a lot between Houston and Boston, who's obviously now without Rafael Devers. And I believe Rafael Devers is playing Boston this weekend. So, yeah. Were you surprised about that trade, by the way?
Yes and no, because I think he wanted out. They probably were doing things that he did not agree with. And I think the Red Sox organization is at this moment notorious for that, because there's a lot of guys who are ready to jump ship. I mean, why did Xander Bogaerts not say? I mean, maybe is it because he didn't get enough money, or because he didn't see a future, or he didn't like how the organization was run?
Probably a combination.
Yeah, there's always a combination. And then with Rafael Devers, I think with them being, for sure there was a toxic relationship with them, because he went from, I'm a third baseman, I will not play wherever they tell me to play, to going to San Fran and saying, oh, I'll play anywhere after that. It's like, hey, we might put you at first base. Okay, let's do it. That's interesting. It's kind of like a relationship. It's like you're with one girl and she says she wants to do this. It's like, no, I don't want to do this with you. But then you go to a different girl and she does something else with you, kind of thing. That's kind of a hypocrite right there. So it had to be, I believe he wanted out. So I was shocked because, yeah, it's a franchise player, but at the same time, it's like after hearing all the drama and the soap opera that he was going through in the clubhouse, now it's like, okay, I wasn't surprised to hear the news of that trade. And probably, and then a little trend that they have, like that you see on Instagram or Twitter or anything. Describe this trade. Describe this trade for basketball fans. Just tell them the Luka trade.
Yeah,
exactly. The Luka trade too.
Yeah, 100%. It's the Luka trade.
Yeah, it's literally the Luka trade of baseball right now. But
well, yeah, because it's just like you look at that move. If you're the Red Sox and you're like, wow, this is a terrible trade for you. Literally, the only advantage to it was it's a salary dump.
Yeah, and that's probably why they did it. And for San Fran to come in and say, oh, like, we have no problem doing it. And okay, well, there you go. And I think I think it didn't mind. They don't mind it because that money that they have for Rafael Devers was probably the money they saved up to try to get Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani when they were in the sweepstakes not too long ago. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm
now you get one of the best hitters in baseball. I mean, he's probably a top 10 hitter.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely up there. But also I think a change of league might help too. I mean, he does have some pretty good numbers in the National League, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, it would be fun to watch when they go to Dodger Stadium and he's facing the Dodgers. And if he can put a beating on them, that'd be nice. Definitely would be fun seeing him in any of the other division opponents. Of course, San Diego is going to be fun to watch. And just anywhere. Or how about this? What about when they go to Colorado? That thin air he's going to be thankful for that for sure. It's going to be interesting up in San Fran. I think the rivalry between LA and San Fran is going to spark a little bit more. So this is something that we want in baseball. I mean, yeah, the San Diego Los Angeles rivalry is fun for us right now, but nothing beats San Francisco versus Los Angeles. That is one rivalry. I'd rather. Don't get me wrong, it's entertaining to see the Padres and Dodgers, but it's just as fun seeing Giants and Dodgers because there's a lot of spark. And with Rafael Devers in the mix and Matt Chapman, if they stay hot, could go a long way for sure.
Absolutely. It will be a fun time the next time the blue and the black team there. I don't. The boys in blue is what I meant to say. I don't.
Yeah.
Whatever. You guys know what I meant. But yeah. Dodgers versus Giants is already always an intense rivalry, especially in the stands. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens going forward now, and especially now the Giants have a little bit more star power. But all right, Vince, let's get to this week's hot take. You got it in front of you, sir?
I do.
Right.
Water tastes better when you're thirsty. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
When you're at the gym, yeah, water is the best thing you ever tasted. But if you're sitting on your couch, no, water is the worst thing you tasted. That's a hot take right there. No, but all jokes aside, the real hot take of the day is Reid Detmers will make his way back into the starting rotation in the near future. I believe so. Because one, he went back down to the minor leagues. He figured it out. This guy's clocking 97 on the radar gun. I'll never forget when he pitched the no-hitter. I don't think he got above 93 during that no-hitter. So, and he wasn't blowing the Rays out. He was depending on the defense. He only had 2 strikeouts that entire game, which means the defense did all the work for him in that no-hitter. So basically a lot of soft contact and stuff because he wasn't pumping it. But now that he's throwing hard, yeah, he is a valuable piece in the bullpen. It is great to see that. But the question is, has he earned enough to get back to the starting rotation? I believe so. And there's a lot of cases on why he is going to get back there. Case number 1, somebody struggles and he fills in. So far, the 2 front runners that I had that were going to be the struggling starting pitchers, Jack Kahanowitz and Kyle Hendricks. I was thinking, so right now, Jack Kahanowitz is the worst qualified pitcher in the league. That's a fact right there. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. He has the highest ERA amongst qualified starting pitchers. And for him to basically shut down the Yankees for 2 runs, 1, it's embarrassing on the Yankees' part, but number 2, it's impressive on our part that he's improving. Now, I think that the ERA is what kind of gave him motivation, thinking like, look, if I don't improve in these next few starts, I might get sent down. He's afraid to go back. That is a Major League Baseball player's worst fear is to get sent back to AAA because they have to work their way back and they have to earn it. So my plan or my sights were that Jack Kahanowitz might have the struggles and then Reid Detmers would move on in because Kahanowitz was either going to go to the bullpen or he was going to get sent down to AAA and work on things just like Detmers did. I would probably say the latter for sure. Now, my second guy was Kyle Hendricks. There was a lot of talk that Kyle Hendricks should be pushed to the bullpen because he is a veteran presence and he can eat innings whenever a guy struggles in the first. I mean, what if we have one guy who can't get out of the second inning? Well, here comes Kyle Hendricks who can pick up the bulk, basically. So basically, we go back to the 2019 strategy we had when we had the openers and then the bulk relievers or the bulk starters, you could say. That's what Kyle Hendricks could have done. I think it would have been a nice situation to do, but Ron Washington doesn't play that game. Brad Ausmus does, but, he's not running the team. So that was the first case that I had. The second case was the trade deadline. If Tyler Anderson is the trade piece that we are still pushing for to get something out of him, Reid Detmers is going to move back in. So that is why I believe there is more confidence and more chances of him getting in because Yusei Kikuchi is already set as our number 1 starter. Jose Soriano set at number 2. Now it's like now 3, 4, and 5. It's anybody's spot right now right now that anybody is Reid Detmers, and I believe he's earned it. He's proven a lot. His velocity on his fastball has improved. He's trusting his slider a lot more. He's getting batters out with his off speed because he's trusting it, like I just said. So yeah, I feel great, and I'm just hoping he's going to get it. He's going to get back in that groove, and because he was projected to be possibly our ace, our future ace when he got drafted. But you know what? It's like just because you have high hopes doesn't mean you're going to get to that promised land right away. He came close last year, but everybody hits their bumps, and he hit it. He hit it again this year. But I'm just glad that he found it.
Yeah, Reid Detmers has certainly had a roller coaster, to say the least, as a major leaguer. He was drafted in 2020. He was drafted number 10. So he was the last Billy Epler. Well, not the last pick, obviously, but that was the last Billy Epler draft. So he's one of the last Billy Epler guys that are still around, at least that were drafted. I was going to say, Taylor Ward. Yeah, no. He's the last guy that was drafted in the 2020 draft first round. So Reid Detmers has had a bit of a shaky existence as a major leaguer. Always kind of struggled to figure out where exactly he belongs. Like Vince said, there was a lot of speculation that this guy was going to be the ace, and he was supposed to be maybe a number 2, maybe Sandoval and Detmers were going to be number 1 and number 2. Obviously, Sandoval is now with the Red Sox. And now Detmers is in the bullpen. Now, do I think that he should get moved to the rotation? No. Not because he hasn't earned it, but because he has finally found a reliable home in the bullpen. Now, will he get moved to be a starting pitcher again? Probably. I don't know if it's this year. If somebody does go down, either transactionally or gets injured, then, who's the next man up? By default, it's Reid Detmers, right? The only thing that's potentially stopping that, who's going to replace Detmers? We don't have a ton of depth right now in the bullpen. The next thing is going to be getting Aldergetty back up here, getting Dana back up here. Guys that really should be in the minors as starting pitchers, because that's what they are. That's what they're being developed as. So those are the guys you want to stay down there unless they're getting called up in the rotation. Look, Reid Detmers' velocity is up, like you said. His stuff is great. And hell, the guy was never a strikeout pitcher when he was a starter. All of a sudden, he's striking guys out. He struck out Aaron Judge, right? And I'm not trying to be a glazer, right? That's not what I'm here to do. We'll leave that to the East Coast sports guys. But Aaron Judge is one of the best hitters in baseball. And any time you can make him look silly like Hendricks did, like Detmers did, that's good. That means you got good stuff. Any given day, and this Angels team has routinely proven that. Vince, in Detmers' last, 15 outings, he's given up 1 run. He's obviously in a groove. He's been used in high leverage roles, which is good also because this team doesn't have a lot of reliable high leverage arms. It's not Zephyr right now. It's Kenley Jansen, Detmers, and then what? Maybe Hunter Strickland, kinda. But, if you got a runner on second and third with 1 out, do you really want Strickland going out there? So that's what I'm saying. We don't have a ton of high leverage guys right now. Detmers has been using that role. He's been the 8th inning guy. He's gotten us to Kenley Jansen. And the other thing that we're not thinking about, if he does get put back in the rotation, how long until he's able to actually pitch like a starting pitcher again? Because, okay, let's just say he has to do a spot start. He could do 2 innings easily, maybe even 3 innings. But after that, you got to worry about his stamina because This year, he's been throwing what, 30, 40 pitches max. So now, throwing him in the starting rotation, it's like, all right, hey, the next 6, 7 innings potentially are yours. Go give us 90 pitches, kid.
Yeah, you do have a point because it's hard to go from it's actually easier to go from a starter to a reliever in your career because you go from throwing many pitches to throwing a small amount. But when you're a reliever and you transition into a starter, it's not going to work out. But I think
Can you imagine Ben Joyce being a starting pitcher? He's going to be throwing like 95, 96 miles an hour.
Yeah, but it's like my dad and I had this conversation about like why not put some of these like guys that can throw like 100 or something as starters? It's like, well, they're closers and relievers for a reason because they can only do so much when you throw that hard. Like you could probably only throw 100 miles an hour 20 times, 20 straight pitches if you can. And then after that, you have to take a rest. Whereas as a starter, if you're going to throw 100 pitches and you're going to clock 100, you're going to clock 100 probably like 5 times, if anything. And because you pace yourself. Paul Skeens is a good example. I mean, he doesn't pump it every single time. He varies basically. He only pumps it on certain hitters. Like I think when he faces Shohei Ohtani, I think it's the only time he brings it. But then when he faces anybody else, he sits at like 98, 99. He stays consistent right there. So, yeah, I do agree that it is going to might affect him a little bit because he's going from a short inning reliever to back as a starter. But the other question is when he's down in the minors, when he was working there, what was he doing? He was doing long starts. He was doing 5 inning, 6 inning starts. So, yeah, he does have the stamina, but of course in the major leagues it's a little bit different because you stick to that routine as a reliever multiple times. I think the best option probably would be maybe he'd be that guy where a starter can't get out of the second inning and he's available and he can pitch longer innings. Because as of now, I think the most he could probably go at with the consistency he has at most 4, maybe 5 innings. And if you and a lot of middle relief pitchers that help out starters that have short outings, they go 3 to 4. They go 3 to 5 innings. It's rare that you see them pull a Nathan Eovaldi and pitch basically a complete game in extra innings. I mean, in that 18-inning game he had in the World Series of 2018, he pitched like literally a second game in a way. So, I mean, that's the only thing that probably is a positive. But also, I think if he was to go back in the rotation, how long is he going to be in that rotation? Probably at least until September call-ups, because then you're going to get the starters to come in. You're going to get Caden Dana to come up, and he's going to get his reps in. I think Caden Dana, we're not going to see him until September because you don't want to waste any options. And if you call him up in September, I don't think options come into effect. So when you get called up in September, 40-man roster, he's pretty much set. So, and then another point I wanted to get back to what you said, Fernando, about the bullpen. Like, who do you depend on if Detmers was to go to the rotation? Well, guess what? The draft is not too long. It is not far from where we are right now. It is the day before the All-Star game, or before the Home Run Derby, so that's Sunday. And I wouldn't be surprised if Perry does the same thing he's been doing every single draft. How many major league ready relief pitchers are out there? Once again, he's going to look at the SEC. Better yet, he's going to look at, I bet right now, or these past few weeks, he was looking at the College World Series as super, super close. Because I guarantee you there's a lot of major league ready starters that just pitched in the College World Series. And Perry's keeping an eye on them. So I wouldn't be surprised if come this draft, you get a lot of SEC school pitchers, or better yet, you might get some Big West pitchers too, because the Big West does have a tendency to have some good pitchers, and especially the California-born players. And I always tell people when we talk baseball, when it comes to draft season or it comes to scouting, I always like to circle the California-born players, regardless of where they go to school. I mean, they could be from SoCal and be playing for Vanderbilt or LSU or any SEC schools, but I'm circling them because, number one, they get the exposure back. They get the exposure in California because they're playing every single day, regardless of the weather and regardless of the time of the year. And also, like, California ball players are bred to play baseball at some point in their lifetime, and you and I both know we've played baseball all our life because it's all we have around here year round. I mean, yeah, we have football, yeah, we have basketball, but when you're able to play a sport on Christmas Day, yeah, you're gonna want to do it. So don't be surprised if this draft coming up, we get pitchers that are probably going to get called up in September. And another option that could be an idea, Ryan Johnson, the who we had in a reliever, he might get hit. If Detmers is to go to the rotation, Johnson might come in and fill in, or maybe they're experimenting and having him as a starter come the September call ups.
Yeah, he's been starting. He actually just had a really, really good start a couple games ago too. So yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm hoping that for once Perry isn't doing that. I'm hoping we can actually draft somebody, actually develop them properly, and maybe in 2 years when this window's open, they're actually able to come make a meaningful difference right away. Because it is kind of frustrating when guys like Christian Moore come up and they're kind of sputtering for a couple games. There's some flashes of potential there, but then there's also some things where it's like, man, this guy's raw still. So yeah, that's the one thing. But once again, this team's not supposed to be contending anyway, so it is what it is. So for once, I think, well, no, we do kind of agree because you're saying yes, he is going to be added, sooner rather than later. And I don't want him to be added to the rotation, but I do think he is going to be. I like him in the bullpen. I like him where he is. I like what I'm seeing out of him. But if I'm a betting man, I'm going to take the yes on it. So looks like another week, actually, we both agree. But yeah, you said you had something else you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, it's just basically what's going on this weekend. So if there's still an opportunity to see Logan O'Hoppe this Saturday, so if you're going to be there, I will be there. So come say hi and not only just get an opportunity to see Logan O'Hoppe, but yeah, I'm excited for that. Because I hear a lot of great things about him. He's a great guy. He loves signing autographs. He loves doing these events with OC Dugout. So I'm looking forward to that. And also, if you're going to the Angel game on Sunday, I will be there. Come say hi. I'll actually be celebrating my mom's. I don't want to say her age, but you know what? I love her to death. 65 years. So her 65th
I was going to say happy 21st birthday. I was going to give her a little.
Well, you know what? Okay, she is turning 21 for the whatever time. Yeah. But yeah, I will be there on Sunday. So if you see us around, come say hi. Wish her a happy birthday. She will be wearing my T-shirt, so she loves to wear that T-shirt with pride for sure, and she's looking forward to that day. So, and all we ask is for a win. That's it. That's all my mom asked for. She's like, I mean, she does have fun at the games regardless of the outcome, but at the end of the day, a win would be a much, much greater birthday for her. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to Sunday for sure, spending time with my mom.
Well, a happy early birthday to Mama Angels Cowboy. Hopefully she is able to see an Angels win and be able to enjoy a beautiful day out at the ballpark. I, for one, I'm going to be gone basically the rest of the month. So a little peek behind the curtain. I've been running our social media for the last 4 years. So, Rob has been fortunate enough this year to help with the lineups. But prior to that, question of the day, lineups, breaking news, all that, score posting and all that has been me. I've been running the Twitter solely by myself. I think for like 2 weeks this year, Halo Joe tried helping, and it just, he just stopped doing that. And obviously he had this stuff happen with his family, so he had to step away for a little bit, which we understand that. But to all this to say that I'm going to be gone and off for these next 2 weeks. So, if you guys see a little bit of stagnation on the social media front, like, hey, why is this? Why is that? You guys know. We have things in place. There are people setting in. Dominic of Catella Chronicles and, of course, Halos of the Infield under the umbrella. He's going to be taking over the Twitter account, so watch out for that. Rob is going to be doing the question of the day for me. He is going to be doing the lineups as well. So be on the lookout for all of that. Still give us a follow, though, at Halos in the Infield. Give Vince a follow while you're at it, at Angels_Cowboy. He had a good video. I won't say it's a trivia style video. I won't share too much about it because you got to watch it yourself. But he's always trying a bunch of funky, fun stuff over there. So make sure you mosey on over there and give it a follow.
There'll be more opportunities. I'm hoping to get some again on Sunday. So I always do. Every time my goal this year, every game I attend is to try to get a lucky fan and have a little fun because, like I said, I love engaging with the Angels community. I know we have a large community and we always look out for each other. So, and for them to, I've been recognized a few times actually. In fact, the last video I did, the guy came up to me and he says, "Hey, like, you're on Halos in the Infield with Todd." I said, "That's me." Just like as I recognized the hat, I said, "Yeah, this is the one." So we talked for a little bit, and he actually ended up doing a video with me. I said, "While you're here, let's do one." And he enjoyed it. We had a good time. Joey's his name, so shout out to him. And I'm looking to do more. So once again, you see me at the game, not only come say hi, but if you want to be in a video, I have questions for you, mainly rapid fire questions, maybe some Angels trivia for a little fun, but it's in the works.
Well, there you go. You heard it from Vince yourself. Come on over and say hi. None of us bite. So if you see anyone from Halos in the Infield, make sure you come on over and you say hi. We love to hear from you guys, and we love to hear how you feel about the team. We love to hear your story of your fandom. And, hopefully we have the opportunity to earn you telling your friends and family about us as well. But once again, on behalf of all of us here at Halos in the Infield, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another Hot Take Hoedown. It's been fun. My name is Fernando. That's Vince. We will see you guys next time. Y'all be good now. You hear?
From Anaheim down to the Texas plains, hot takes flying right and all.